So I moved the Beetle into the garage since this Arctic blast is coming through. I've got a couple of things. First off, I have this, which goes under here. That's to catch brake fluid that drips. I don't know why they have a little pad there, but then what I got is this, which goes into the master cylinder and bends up under this little flap and comes into this here. So this is the last piece of my braking system, so I'll put that in, and I'm gonna go around and just make sure every one of my little fittings is tight, since it's been a while since I've looked at any of that. Then I should be able to actually fill up and bleed the brakes and get that completed. The other thing that I got here, I got a roller. Let's see what this thing looks like here. So I got this roller, and I went with the cheaper stuff, not Dynamat. It's called Silas, and you know, I've had different brands of this stuff, but this is a fairly thin one. It doesn't seem that heavy, but I think it should be fine. I'm gonna put this all into the on the floor pans. This is a foam, could go over top, but I'll put that overall, the entire thing, once I get all the bolts, body bolts and everything down, and into these panel areas and under here up to about here. So I also have to plug these holes. I don't know exactly why there are holes in my fender wells, but there are, and I'll also need to leave, you know, the holes for, it looks like there's the little brights switch, and I have to make sure that I can get my steering column through and everything. I completed my engine compartment, which I think is great. So the engine compartment has the sound insulation here, since basically looks like the air actually comes through up top here, but this was also has a, I don't know exactly why, but there, it looks like back here there's definitely some space, and so I just wanted to allow, you know, whatever needs to come through there, but I have all my engine seals, and I flapped down these metal things onto the insulation. Overall, I'm happy with this, and that's just in the engine compartment. I will probably do the same on the outside of this, just to make it less tinny. So happy with that. I got my running boards, and that was very exciting. This one is only set in place. You got to put in, you know, feed in the 4 10mm bolts here, and then you hook the running board over top, and then you can tighten everything down, including these fender bolts. I've already installed the left-hand one, and you know, it's really solid. This is the last bolt here on this end. I'm having trouble getting to it, so it's still not totally tightened down, and I have to figure that out. That's under there. It's just hard to get the wrench under there, but the bolts back here, all this, it's very solid. This wasn't quite enough space here, so this actually folded up the rubber. I'm not sure if I can do something about that, but for now I'm just gonna leave it. What I really needed to do is Dremel the bottom of this. This was a fiberglass, just to patch that so that it didn't have a water leak, and I think it just came down a little too far. So that looks pretty good. So overall, what I have left to do are 4 body bolts on the underside here. Then I have about 5 body bolts on the underside of this heater channel, have the 4 ones that go up in the front. These ones, I'm gonna have to X-Acto knife the rubber on the underside as well as Dremel those front ones because the holes aren't quite aligned. I think there's probably like a 1/2 centimeter to the side. I'm just gonna have to Dremel it. But overall, pretty happy with the way this is coming out. One thing that's super annoying to me, I ignore the bus for the most part while I'm doing this Beetle. They're gonna be twins because of the black and Lotus white. So you can see this is the bus. And really annoying, the second time in about 2 months that this Pulley, this is an aftermarket one, and somebody warned me that these pulley nuts or pulley bolts come out. And so this one, sure enough, it did again, came out. And then what happens is you can see this pulley becomes loose. You can see the oil going out sort of radially from this, and it starts to mess up the alternator. God knows what it's doing because it's flapping, vibrating. And so what I've decided I'm going to do is I'm going to Loctite. I mean, some people are like, oh, just go back to stock pulley. Okay, that's one option. But, you know, it's already in place. What I think I'm going to do, I just got out my assortment of Loctites, and I am going to have Loctite blue and Loctite red. You know, I think I'm just going to Loctite red that mother all the way and tighten it down. So let's go ahead and just do that now. So in order to do this with the pulley, this is to hold the pulley. This is to loosen and tighten it. So initially I'm just gonna take this thing out. And you think you can just get a bolt and it's gonna just go in and hold. And I tighten this sucker down pretty good, but the fact that it's aluminum, you know, and I don't know exactly what's up with this, but what I'm gonna do is take the threads of this. I don't know if there's oil on it or what, but clean off the threads here. Like that. Threads are still good. And then I'm taking Loctite red. And I am just gonna douse this mother with some serious Loctite red because I am, honestly, I'm just completely tired of having to deal with this. So there we go. What do you think of that? And that's gonna go right into their crankshaft pulley hole. So let's see, maybe you can see it from here. I don't know. First thing, push this thing all the way in, which it is. Second, let's take this and get this thing in there. Let's find out whether Loctite red is effective. So, in order to do this, I have to pull it this way, which means I need to ensure that the pulley does not turn. Also, not mangle my fingers, which I've done before. So, tighten this down a little bit. one last go at this. I can smell the Loctite red. Ah! Okay. So hopefully that is problem solved. Let's hope. But now that I've got the bus back stable, let's go back to the Beetle. So today, what I need to do is figure out how to get this last 10mm bolt tightened down, and then put in the same thing on the other running board. And then I need to get the final body bolts in on the underside. Might not be a bad idea to resolve this issue here, which means that would mean loosening this whole thing back up and just sliding this rubber part under there a little flatter. This will annoy me, and it'll eventually probably crack or damage that rubber. So, you know, I ordered a bunch of other things, and I have my radio here and the radio plate, which I've started to fix up a little bit. You know, it's the taller overhanging part says top, so that means it's going to go in basically like this, and it lines up with the trim nicely. So I ordered the headlight switch, the windshield wiper switch, this thing, and then I'm not sure if that's the cigarette lighter or what. I ordered a cigarette lighter, but you know, what is this? How? I have to figure out. There's 2 screw holes there. I really have to figure out what that piece was. Maybe somebody knows. They can tell me. It looks like it's probably a cigarette lighter, but I've seen pictures of a 63 that doesn't have anything here. So what is it? Anyway, I'll figure it out and put whatever it is there. So, glove box. I had to Dremel down these nubs a little bit because the pointiness of them made them stick out too far. So you can see how they're a little flatter, and then that makes them press on the right amount. So when I close this, well, my hands are dirty, but then when I press the button, it opens, and because of the springiness of those little rubber nubs. So I ordered the grab handle as well, a black one that'll go in there. And yeah, the only other thing is because I had refurbished the wiper motor, which now works great. And what I'm trying to figure out, I'm setting this thing up here, and it doesn't seem like it quite fits. It seems like when I put this through here and here, it's too narrow. Well, just ever so slightly too narrow. Maybe I can bend it to flare out a little bit. Plus I messed up that. But also, how does that connect to that? It's off. What is going on? You know, I feel like I think this wiper motor is from a 65 and this is a 61, but then I look it up and that's all supposed to be the same. So, you know, maybe there's something that goes over to mount that, or maybe this is just the wrong part. Either way, you know, at least it works now. I feel like it's pretty close. I feel like I could probably just bend it, flare it out just a little bit, and I think that it'll fit. But you know, I'm not super happy that it seems to be about 4 millimeters too narrow. So anyway, I'll figure it out. Okay, that's it for now. So I think the next thing I'm going to do is actually work on the running board. This one here doesn't have the same issue with the bottom of the pillar as I did on the other side, where I lowered it too much with fiberglass. So anyway, I'll take care of this one, probably loosen that one and take care of that one. I'll have both running boards in well.